Hi, in this video we will go over essay conclusions. So what's an essay conclusion? We're looking at the basic academic essay, 4 or 5 paragraphs. We're going to have a 1 paragraph introduction, body paragraphs. You could have 2 or 3 of those, and then the conclusion. The conclusion's 1 paragraph. It is at the end of your essay. So that's what it is. What goes in it? Or first, what's the point of it? What's the point of a conclusion? So an effective essay conclusion accomplishes the following. First, it's going to summarize your main ideas. These are the ideas that you argue for in the body paragraphs. This part of your conclusion is only 1 or 2 sentences. Now, your summary should sound different from your thesis statement. It shouldn't just be copied. And one tip for that is try starting from your body paragraph ideas. Start from those ideas and then reach your more general conclusion. We'll look at an example of that in a minute. After that, you should add an additional comment about where to go from here. So the idea here is you assume the reader now agrees with your main ideas. Again, these are the main ideas you already argued for in the body paragraphs. So assume the reader agrees with you. Now you're going to add an additional comment. This additional comment could be a suggestion, warning, prediction, problem, solution. Could be a lot of things, could even be more things. And the comment is really going to be like 3 to 5 sentences. So you may have to explain it a little bit. One thing the conclusion should not do is argue for your main ideas. You have already argued for your main ideas in your body paragraphs. Do not argue for it again. Do not argue for them again in your conclusion. Just state them at the beginning to make sure that we got it. So here's an example. We're actually continuing the example from the video and slides on essay introductions. So my thesis statement was, there are 2 secrets to a successful marriage: honesty and a willingness to compromise. And if I'm going to write that essay with that thesis statement, my first body paragraph is going to be about this. Honesty is the first secret to a happy marriage. My second body paragraph is going to be about this. Willingness to compromise is the second secret. Those could be my topic sentences. Maybe I have fancier topic sentences, but those are the ideas that I'm arguing for in my body paragraphs. So my conclusion is going to start with the summary of the main ideas. And like I said before, I'm going to start with those body paragraph ideas and move kind of backward from there. So I'm going to say, by being both honest and willing to compromise, partners in a marriage can find success. This is a good way to make sure that my summary sentence looks different from my thesis statement. It's usually in the opposite order, but there are many ways to write this sentence. Okay, now we're going to look at 2 quick examples of conclusions. You really have a lot of flexibility for what you're going to say in your comment. In my first example, my comment is going to discuss a problem. So here we go. By being both honest and willing to compromise, partners in a marriage can find success. However, it's unclear whether most people are actually capable of honesty and compromise. Many people learn to get what they want by lying and taking advantage of others, which is a behavior that will not stop just because they found a lifelong partner. Similarly, many people view compromise as a form of losing, which means they will never be happy in a relationship that requires compromise to succeed. The lack of honesty and desire to compromise explains why successful marriages are out of reach for most people. So just to review what I've done here, I started by, in the orange part, repeating my main idea, and now my main ideas rather, and now I'm assuming the reader already agrees with those. I'm not going to talk about those anymore. What I am going to do is add something. If you agree with me on that first part, I have one more thing to say. And the one more thing to say here is, well, if these are the keys, this is why marriage doesn't work, because people can't really follow those secrets. So that's my additional comment. Let's look at one more example. And here, my comment is kind of more of a suggestion. By being both honest and willing to compromise, partners in a marriage can find success. However, just understanding these secrets is not enough to be successful. For most people, it is hard work to maintain open and honest communications with others and to learn to compromise. To succeed in a marriage, a couple probably has to enlist the help of a marriage therapist who can keep them committed to these keys to success. So here again, I'm assuming you agree with me as the reader, you agree with me on my main ideas, and now I'm just going to give an additional suggestion. If you give a suggestion, try to make it a little bit interesting like this one. Don't just say, please follow my keys, because that one I think we could already know. But here I make a more specific suggestion that because this is difficult, maybe a marriage therapist would work. And honestly, it's a little bit short. I might want to add 1 or 2 sentences about why a marriage therapist would be a good choice. Okay, hope this was helpful. Thank you.